Welcome back, Tribe. Having a video here. Self-deportation. She did it and helping others that want to do the same. Let's see.
Try everything I could to, integrate myself into American society.
More than a decade since arriving to South Carolina as a child,
I really tried to study as hard as I could. I did everything I could to get rid of my accent.
Monsi Hernandez made a life-changing decision during President Trump's first term in office.
My hope actually wasn't to have to self-deport.
And since then, has been helping others without status make similar educated decisions through Onward, an organization for the wellness and advancement of relocated dreamers.
Many people are aware of the fact that you can leave the United States if you want to, but not many people are aware of the risks that it can pose.
For Hernandez, having a DACA permit didn't open doors to education or even help her attain stability.
There was no health insurance for me available because all of the works I could get were minimum wage. I could not access further university because as a DACA recipient, you have to pay out-of-country tuition.
And her tipping point wasn't working 3 jobs to make ends meet.
In 2013, my mom was caught by ICE and she was put into one of the detention centers. I realized that it wasn't worth it for me anymore. And so at the age of 19, I decided that I no longer wanted to stay in the United States.
Since 2017, Hernandez has been living in Germany and has not given up on her mission to help others in similar situations during a second Trump term.
As of January, I believe it was the 26th, we received approximately 2,000 new members, all of them hoping to leave.
This sucks for the kids that got caught up in this, especially the ones that came when they were small. Obviously, you have no choice. It wasn't your decision. And for the youngest ones, too, it's craziest because you've never known the other country. You were brought here quite literally. Like, we're talking babies, small. You have no memories even of where you come from. Your entire life is the United States. They're practically American, besides paperwork. Those are the ones that it's so messed up that they have to deal with this. And at the same time, it's like, what the fuck were the parents thinking? Like, you put your kid in a precarious situation by not going through the proper channels. Instead, you thought you could cross the border and eventually everything would be okay. Because maybe following in the footsteps of other people who have done the same and, things seem to be working out just fine. But things change. The administrations change. The people in power, it changes. The temperature in the room in regards to immigration and all that stuff. When a country, especially, it becomes more and more unstable, culture clashes are growing and not enough ends are being met for most people, they start to look for everything and any reason possible on what's going on. So we've elected a conservative government. And now the people that were stuck in this precarious position are now dealing with the consequences of that. Now, I don't really have much empathy for the parents because my parents also came to the United States and they did it the correct way. And we waited for all our paperwork and it took forever to get naturalized, but we still did it. Why can't you? It's actually a slap in the face for people that take the time to do the things correctly and not illegally enter a country while everybody else cuts in line. So I feel for the kids. Truly, it's no fault on them at all. Maybe, don't know, there should be something for them, but that bars their parents permanently. Just because you entered illegally, you shouldn't be allowed as an adult, right? If you were a child, I don't know what you can do. Because think about it. You're born in this country, or some of them born in this country. Well, actually, no, you would have paperwork born in this country. But let's just say born in another country, and then they cross the border with you at just a couple of years old. You're a baby, an infant. You don't know anything. Your entire life, you grew up in America. You probably can't even speak your native tongue, most likely, for some of these people. And all of a sudden, you're grown up and you find out, I'm not even from the United States. I'm not even legal here. And then you're stuck in this gray zone, this limbo. And that sucks for those kids. I think there should be something for them specifically, but for the parents, nothing. You cannot ever, nothing, not through your kids. You cannot get sponsored eventually. No, there cannot be a reward for doing that. I understand you were escaping your situation and all this stuff, and you came across and you went through a bunch of danger, but no. It's not fair to everybody else. There's rules, laws, order for everybody for a reason.
Some of them extremely disappointed, disillusioned, some of them struggling with severe anxiety, severe depression.
And it's a process also familiar to Mexican consulate offices, which provide support to those looking to relocate to their home country.
We have cooperation with entities in Mexico that we guide them for the reinstallation in Mexico in terms for job and education.
Consul General Christian Gonzalez says they've received direct orders from Mexico's president to support immigrants concerned about deportations.
The priority of our government in terms of foreign policy is to protect our nationals outside of Mexico, particularly here in the United States. Second, inform to our connationals about their rights.
And while immigration policies are only fortifying, like a revamped version of the CBP One app, which gives people the option for a voluntary departure or self-deportation, Immigration Vera says you're likely left with a small chance of adjusting your status outside of the U.S.
The worst thing you can do is self-deport, because at that point, then there are very few options. But if you remain here and you continue filing your taxes, working, supporting your family, being a member of your community, there's a very good chance that even if you are arrested by ICE, there's a very good chance that an immigration judge will grant you that cancellation because you have those positive factors.
But nearly 8 years since her departure,
I do not ever want to live in the United States ever again.
Hernandez says that moving back to South Carolina is no longer an option, and she's made peace with that decision.
Oh my God, bro. That guy looks like the supreme Redditor of Earth. Look at this.
No longer an option, and she's made peace.
What in the world? Okay, protect. Of course. Of course, big dog. We got the male feminists. Protect LGBTQ rights. National parks. I'm for that. Minorities. Of course you're there, dog, saying that because you're hitting the clammy. DACA, all that other stuff. Okay.
With that decision.
No matter how much I contributed in taxes, no matter how high my education was, no matter how very little accent I had, how many words I knew, I was never going to be seen as American.
Marisela de la Cruz, KCRA 3 News.
Notice she didn't move back to Mexico. Now, that's a good one. Notice she went to Germany. Everyone's asking that question. If she went to Germany, then she didn't self-deport. She just left. Germany, why didn't they just return home? That's a good question. You know, when they were protesting in LA and they were putting up all the Mexican flags and La Raza and all that stuff, go back to your fucking countries. If you're in America flying a different country's flag, go the fuck back. I've said this before in an episode. How do you possibly have so much love and pride in the place that you come from if you're fighting so hard to stay in this one? Fuck where you came from. No offense. I'm sick of it myself. As an immigrant myself, I'm so sick of it, watching these people that come to this country. I'm saying this as an immigrant. Rose-tinted glasses about the shithole they crawled out of. I'm done hearing that, bro. If your country was so good, if life was so great over there, you would have stayed over there. There's a reason. America is the best, period. End of story. It's not perfect. Nobody says it's perfect, but it's sure as fuck way better than where you came from, or else you wouldn't have fucking come. And Americans aren't even allowed to say shit like this because they're seen as like xenophobic or something, like anti-immigrant. But this is coming from a first-generation immigrant, myself, born in another country, family immigrated the correct way. As you can tell, very American sounding, don't have an accent anymore, completely assimilated. And I don't like these people complaining, flying other countries' flags. Go home. Go home. You either assimilate into the culture, everything that is Americana encapsulated, or you can go home. Shit is wild to me. So I'm for ICE arresting and deporting, especially all those people flying foreign flags, all of them. Deport them all. Your allegiance should be to one country and one country only. But it goes in one out. It goes in one ear, out the other. So she left America and went to Germany? I guess anywhere but Mexico. Her mother was captured by ICE and put in detention facility in 2013. Good catch. Who was POTUS that year again? It's been so long I can't remember. I just noticed that the DACA girl's going everywhere but her country of Mexico. Yeah. Someone said the attorney is lying. 9 out of 10 arrests are deported. He's self-promoting because he's losing clients. Yeah. She blames the U.S. but should be blaming her parents. So off to another country she goes. Everywhere but where she came from originally. Yeah. All bark, no bite. Dude, they always talk about the love for their home country, how great it is, and like so much pride, but would never live there. So insane to me. Anyways, as usual, boys, we'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves.